Do you need QuickBooks for your business? Inside this episode, we're talking about QuickBooks and accounting for entrepreneurs. What are the best practices, benefits, and what you need to know, especially if you think you might have some cleanup to do. So let's do this. All right, welcome back to the Your Money, Your Life podcast. I am excited to be talking about QuickBooks today, simplifying QuickBooks, what you need to know. If you are connected with me on Instagram, you probably know that April is Financial Literacy Month, which is also why we end up having some sort of workshop live every single year. This year, it's Cashflow Unlocked. We'll get to that in a minute if you haven't heard about it. But let's talk best practices for accounting for small business owners, because the time that this is going live, you're either about a month past your tax filing deadline if you have the corporation with like an S Corp election or anything like we do, or traditional tax deadline is April 18th, actually. So you've got about a week left if you're watching this on the day that it drops. But kind of got to get on it. But let's talk some best practices, okay? So, spreadsheet lovers out there, can you use a spreadsheet to effectively track and manage your business finances? Logistically, yes. Is it a best practice? No. If you were to ever be audited, which we talk about inside the academy, we have the whole unstoppable tax strategy module, which I've already heard like that this is a really great module. People love going through this because taxes is such a hot button. There's a lot of fear built in around taxes, okay? If you were to ever be audited, having a spreadsheet is not a really great tool. It'll be negatively impacted, and you can't prove some of the things like you can with QuickBooks, which we're going to get to in a minute, or another software like it, okay? So, confession time here. And I use and keep all of my books ready in QuickBooks, but I also keep my spreadsheet so I can see numbers the way I want to see them in a spreadsheet. So guilty there, but that is not the accounting practice software that I use. That is for my personal usage, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. And then the next thing that we see, or I see coming up, is you're doing great. You know, you've got QuickBooks set up. You're like, I've got the software, set it up. I imported the transactions. I'm set, right? No big deal. Like I don't have to do anything with it. We'll just look at it one time a year to take care of the taxes stuff. And that doesn't work. We can't make decisions in your business based off of looking at your numbers one time a year. And if you're just importing transactions, you're not actually using the software the way that it was designed. You should be importing your transactions. Let me clarify that. You should do that, but it's just a step in the process, not the only step. Okay. So those are some best practices. You also should have some sort of routine system software. You can do this yourself. You can have somebody on your team do this to review your stuff, ideally once a month, if not quarterly, because otherwise we end up stuck and they're like, we wait until it's tax season. It is so stressful. All the stuff you have to get done, you need to get it all figured out finally. Probably way too much caffeine, all the things, binge eating, like from the stress level of trying to figure out your taxes. And you're like, I'm going to do it different this year. Lo and behold, next year turns around. You didn't change anything, right? So let's do different. Have you been trying to hit your income goal for over 6 months and it's just not happening? At least consistently? Maybe you're tired of being scared of the IRS and frustrated, overwhelmed come tax season, but want to finally hit those income goals, but without sacrificing your relationships and your family, even if your to-do list is just overflowing as it is. This free workshop is just for you. Inside Cashflow Unlocked, I'll give you 5 essential keys to increasing your cash flow so that you can make more money, understand your numbers, and gain financial control and confidence even if you don't have time for one more thing. This isn't just one of those classes where you get part of the information and zero help. I'm calling it a workshop for a reason. Yes, we'll go over those 5 essential keys, but then we'll walk through the first steps you need to take together so you aren't left in information overwhelm. To see all the details, simply visit aimeecerka.com/workshop or text workshop to 817-969-4653. And of course, if you missed that link, it'll be hanging out in the show notes for you. Now, I do recommend QuickBooks and I love QuickBooks. And so let's go over some of the quick benefits for using QuickBooks as a small business, okay? It's a very robust software. You can do your invoicing within QuickBooks. I don't know if you knew that or not. So if you are somebody who's working privately one-to-one, you can do your invoicing through QuickBooks. You can do other invoicing as well, but I think that one probably works easiest. You can do payroll through QuickBooks also. A lot of people run payroll through QuickBooks. You can store your receipts digitally, having that there. So if you were ever to be audited, you have that paperwork, and then you don't legally have to keep the paper there as well. I know some of us like to keep meticulous records and we still have the paper, but it's not a requirement if you're not that personality that I have, okay? It does do the bank importing. That's a big deal. Time saver that it imports everything. You can also create rules and help it to learn each of the different strategies so that you're not doing the same thing over and over again. It learns for you. The system gets better. So then it takes less of your time. You can also customize your chart of accounts so that those reports that you've heard of, your balance sheet, your profit and loss, and you might have tried to look at those before, but if your QuickBooks isn't set up right, it probably doesn't make sense. So you can customize your chart of accounts to make it look how you want it to look. So the numbers make sense for you. So it's actually usable. In full transparency, I actually just finished going through a certification myself because I've done my own books for forever. But you'll learn when you attend Cashflow Unlocked. I have a special offering that we're going to add in that will be like your unstoppable CFO type offering so that I can help you with this. So it'll be like a done for you, done with you type thing. So I even learn more that I can do with my QuickBooks, and I don't need the spreadsheet as much as I used to because I was able to make my QuickBooks work for me, okay? Then if you've been using QuickBooks for a while and you haven't done it right, you probably have hid it from your accountant. You don't want them to see because it doesn't make sense. Like your bank balance and your balance are like $40,000 apart and you don't know what the heck happened. You're looking for one $40,000 transaction and that's not how it works. Okay. That's not how that happened. Okay. But you're like, is this even fixable? Do I need to just throw it all away and start over again? Which there can be. Again, inside the workshop, we're going to be talking about times to do this, and we'll go a little bit deeper in this. So there can be times that you should start over, but you absolutely can fix your QuickBooks. There are certain limitations with let's see if I can remember what the abbreviation is. I think it's the IRS and the I don't remember that abbreviation on the top of my head. The different organizations that are set the legal requirements on if you can fix your QuickBooks or not. Okay. So those limitations are in place so that you are able to do what you're supposed to do. You can clean it up. You can make it look better. If it is overwhelming, there can be a lot going on there. Start 1 month, one account at a time. Don't try and fix everything at once. Break it down into small steps. If you don't know what you need to fix, make sure that you're registered for Cashflow Unlocked because I have a special bonus for you that's going to solve that problem. Let's see if I can remember what the abbreviation is. I think it's the IRS and the I don't remember that abbreviation on the top of my head. The different organizations that are set the legal requirements on if you can fix your QuickBooks or not. Okay. So those limitations are in place so that you are able to do what you're supposed to do. You can clean it up. You can make it look better. If it is overwhelming, there can be a lot going on there. Start 1 month, one account at a time. Don't try and fix everything at once. Break it down into small steps. If you don't know what you need to fix, make sure that you're registered for Cashflow Unlocked because I have a special bonus for you that's going to solve that problem. That's what I've got for you today. We were talking about simplifying QuickBooks, best practices, what we needed to know. So the best practices were when it comes to accounting, we can use a spreadsheet, but we have to have that accounting software in there. And the reason, I don't know if I use this with the benefits, but with the accounting software, the reason why it works is because QuickBooks tracks every little change that's made. You can see it's like an activity log. So you can prove when changes were made and that like your books weren't altered. With a spreadsheet, we don't have that same level of security attached to it. And that's part of why just a spreadsheet won't really suffice if you were to ever be audited. Okay. Then we talked about the benefits of QuickBooks, what a robust software is. It is, and it'll scale with you. It is relatively inexpensive for everything that it's done. They have raised prices a little bit every couple of years. I've been using them for a while, but I find that it's still worth the investment, especially since like we can streamline and so much can be done through it. Okay. Then we talked a little bit about how to fix your QuickBooks, that you can actually fix it. There are certain limitations that you need to be aware of from the IRS and that other organization that is escaping me. And then if it's overwhelming, just break it down little bit by bit. But I'm going to have more resources for you. There we go. Inside Cashflow Unlocked. So if you have not registered for that absolutely free event and you are an entrepreneur that's been trying to hit your income goal for at least 6 months, what are you waiting for? I can't wait to see you there. That is what I have for now. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much for listening to the Your Money, Your Life podcast. Wondering what's next? When you're ready, there are different levels of support that you can use on the path to creating unstoppable finances and your unstoppable life. After all, your finances are unique and your support should be too. Ultimately, we'll create a customized plan to ditch financial struggle for good that works for you, your goals, your priorities, your life. Go to workwithaimee.com to get started with one of our most popular programs, or you can book a Q&A call with me and we'll figure out what your next step should be.